Hello and welcome to another episode of the Same Old Arsenal podcast. We are doing a Pots preview for the Arsenal versus Crystal Palace game at the weekend. Joining me this evening is a Crystal Palace fan and a good friend of mine from Essex. It is Dino. Dino, how are you, mate? Are you all good?
Very good, Dan. How are you, mate?
I'm very good, thank you, mate. Thanks so much for joining us. It looks like you've got some rags up on the top of your wardrobe there, mate, hanging down. You might want to sort that out.
Quality attire behind me, mate. Quality attire.
Brilliant, mate. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us, Dino. Top man.
No worries.
Also joining me tonight is a good friend of mine from the Guns and Yellow Ribbons podcast, Mr. Guns and Yellow Ribbons, Mr. Fergus Keating. Ferg, how are you, mate?
I'm very well. Dino, good to see you. Good taste in wardrobes. I'm not sure about shirts, but definitely wardrobes. It's very similar wardrobes. Yeah, a pleasure to be on, Dan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, mate. And back by popular demand, he was with me for the West Ham preview. It is the Shakespearean Jens Lehmann. Manny, how are you, man?
Yeah, not bad, bro. Not bad. How you doing?
I'm
Looking
sweet,
good.
man. I'm sweet, mate. Thanks. Oh, here we go. Fergus, just get it out of the way now, Ferg. Just get it out of the way now.
And look, he's looking good.
You know what? You know what? Yeah. I've always got a reply for the guy, man. I think Fergus has missed his calling. You know how you've got all those Instagram models, right? So the Fergus can just be an Instagram model for the OAP version, man. He can flash his breasts. You know what I mean? press on his nipples like a lift button, man. You missed your calling, bruv.
Thank you.
Man, this is going to be fun. What? Do you know what? Maybe this is... maybe this is more for me for inviting you two on to debate. Jesus. Anyway, right, let's get started. We got a lot to get through, boys. Ferg, we're going to come to you first, man, because Mikel Arteta is in charge. He's had 4 games. Surely what you've seen must have impressed you. What do you make of Arteta's start at Arsenal?
I think we spoke about this on the Guns and Yellow Ribbons podcast yesterday. I said we've had 3 games with 3 good 45 minutes, 3 games with 3 poor 45 minutes. Has he impressed me? He's spoken well. He impressed me what I see him doing on the touchline. Am I convinced yet? No. Have I bought into him? Yes. I will wait. I'll wait. I am behind him, but I will wait.
I think the press conference things is great. I personally have been very impressed with what he said, but I was always a little bit reserved until we started to see us play. And certainly he has got the best out of some of the players. Manny, I'm going to come to you on this because some of the players that I've seen, certainly under the previous regime and under Unai Emery, they just seem to down tools. I'm talking about players like Granit Xhaka, Mesut Ozil, even players like Kolasinac, players like Lacazette. We've seen Maitland-Niles, Luiz. They've all seemed to have improved. So is that credit to Arteta, or is it a little bit frustrating that some of these players have been here for some like Ozil 6 years, Xhaka 4 years? What's your take on that in terms of the players' improvement, mate?
I'm sitting in the corner with a side eye to this whole squad because the opportunities were there, and we're not just talking about the start of the season. We're talking about last season when it was crunch time. We're talking about when silverware was on the line. These guys never turned up. Start of the season, had an opportunity to keep pace with Man City. We were 3rd at one point, close to Man City, 2nd, I think. So them down in tools, it's apparent when you see that we're talking about their fitness in December. So them improving for me it's good. It's great. I'm glad to see you guys working hard. But if you had put in half of that effort when we really needed it, we wouldn't be in the position that we're in right now. So it's good. It's great. But I won't forgive any of these guys.
Because listen, it's frustrating when you see the likes of Mesut Ozil that's been here for 6 years, and then you see him tracking back and putting in that effort against Manchester United, let's say, and you think to yourself, where has that been for 6 years? Do you know what I mean?
You know what's funny about Ozil, right? Is that you have certain pundits that will tell you that Mesut Ozil should be in the number 10 position and should only be in that position, right? And then you have some pundits that will tell you, he should be tracking back, he should be working hard. And then you hear excuses that fans make for him that He shouldn't be doing that. We should just get the ball to him and he should be doing, what he does best. And then you see the performance that he's put in. And then you see the David Silvers, you see the De Bruynes, you see those guys actually going out there and doing the dirty side of the game. So all these excuses have been made for him. For me, it's a load of nonsense, because you watch how he performed against United. You watch him picking up the ball in the right back position. You watch him, winning the ball back and pressing his man and actually sticking to the task. So this guy could do it. So all these excuses that he couldn't is a load of nonsense. And it's frustrating even more.
But Manny, do you not think? Sorry, Dan. Manny,
No,
do you not think that Ozil aside, going back to the Arteta situation, like he's speaking the talk, and he so far is walking the walk, and we see more structure in 4 games in our side than we have seen in 18 months under Unai Emery, which was chop and change everywhere else. He says things are non-negotiable, and that he was happy to see that they were losing and that they come back from a losing position, etc. All that talk is fantastic, but if he comes along and has a player like Ozil that you use as an example, who ends up downing tools again and not playing because of whatever reason, he's not given the right mascara, or whatever reason he decides not to play for, the board and the management team need to back him and go, right, he's out the door. He doesn't play. Don't care.
But you know what? The likelihood of that happening with this group of players is really high. You know what I mean? Because we saw that with Unai Emery, they kind of bought into they bought into something at the start of last season, right? So it's with these guys, at any moment they can just go, you know what, I don't even want to listen to Arteta anymore. You know what, I don't want to do what you're telling me. I don't want to press. I don't want to do that. We've seen that they can down tools already. So for me, I've already given Arteta 2.5 years, because I want you to get rid of this lot, because we've seen their potential. We've seen that they're not good enough. You've seen that they can't perform under pressure. So I would much rather get them out the door, so then we can really usher in the Arteta era. Because for me, all of this that's happening right now is all a facade, mate.
And my last question, Manny, to you again. I know. Sorry,
you're taking over again.
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not.
Yes, you are.
I'm definitely not.
Yes, you are. Control freak, man. It's coming out again.
No. We haven't spoken for a bit, so it's a quick catch up. When do the Boo Boys come back for him? First loss. Are we going to have the toxicity in the Facebook groups, in Twitter, and in the North Bank?
Well, possibly, because that's what we are now. You know what I mean? There's already people who, as soon as Arteta was announced, they were like, oh, I'm not backing him. We should have gotten for somebody with more experience, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. So there's always going to be his detractors. Really, the real fans and the proper fans are the ones with, with head in between their shoulders, will tell you that, you know what, this is a process, and you better strap in, because there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. But if you really want to see Arsenal get back to the top, listen, man, just get behind this dude. And if he turns out to be this great coach that everyone says that he's going to be, then we should be behind that, and we should want him to succeed. Anybody who's booing him now is really just a dickhead. Really, that's all I can say about that, man.
Dino, I've got to bring you in on this, man. I always ask opposite fans what they think of Arsenal, but more importantly, what did you make of the management appointment? Because for some of us, we were fairly underwhelmed. We were hoping for a proven kind of winner, and Arteta is not that man yet. But what have you made since his appointment of Arsenal this season?
Well, they've obviously started playing for him. You can't deny that. I mean, you've had a few good results the last 3 or 4 weeks. I thought you'd go for a big name manager, but I suppose he's got to start somewhere. Is that too early for Arsenal? I don't know. It's for you guys to decide, really. But looking from outside, as I said earlier, I wish you still had Ljungberg for a few more matches, because he didn't seem to be doing a great deal. I mean, it would have been a nice time to play you. But now I fear the worst on Saturday. You'll be fine for 3 points. Trust me.
You think so? You really think so? Because I was going to come to it, but I was going to come to that on Saturday. Obviously, how Crystal Palace fans and yourself feel about coming up against this Arsenal side, because you say a few weeks ago you would have liked to have played us. To be honest with you, man, I think most people in the Premier League would have wanted to play us, because I think they probably would have been happy to take 3 points from us. But what's your feeling going into the game on Saturday?
Well, based on a horrific injury list, I think it's a perfect time for you to play us now. Especially, apparently, it could be Arteta's first away win, and we're happy to oblige usually with records that need to be broken. Anyone come down to Sellers Park or whatever, and we're, the 3 points are yours. I don't think it'd be I think it could just be down to the odd goal, because actually I was looking at our defence. We've actually got quite a good defensive record this year so far. Our problem is obviously with scoring goals. But
you've done all right against us. You've done all right against us recently, haven't you?
Well, yeah, we have. Again, but that was with a lot of fit players. We are down to literally the bare bones at the moment, and yeah, my confidence is draining. I must admit, it's a shame because we've started well this season. Normally, we flirt with relegation and then pull ourselves out of it towards the end of the season. Now we seem to be doing it the opposite way. We're, almost so high we're going to start getting nosebleeds if we get any higher. I mean, we're even above you. I mean, that's embarrassing in itself, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, mate. Everyone's above us, man.
The next half of the season is, I don't know. I think it's going to be a tough one. Put it that way. Especially our transfer policy. We're not signing anyone. It's ridiculous. We need cover, and we're not getting it.
I've got to come to you on a manager because Roy Hodgson gets a lot of stick because of what happened with England. But as a club manager only, I think it's fair to say he's been fairly successful. I know he had a stint at Liverpool that went wrong, but really that was not the right appointment and he wasn't really backed. But at Fulham, certainly he was great. And when he took over at Palace, in my opinion, De Boer had pretty much relegated you on his own. So when he come in, it was like, what could happen with this guy? And surely the fans must be happy with the job he's done.
Well, they are to a degree. There's always, the fickle mob that starts, 1 or 2 defeats and it's Hodgson out. But yeah, we wouldn't be where we are now without him. I mean, it's never going to be, free flowing football. But as he sets us up nicely. It can be painful to watch sometimes. I mean, once Zaha goes, I think it's going to be one big struggle. It will be a struggle. Depends.
Where do you think he's going to?
Well, by all accounts, I mean, he's changed his agent. Who seems to be quite headstrong on, getting a move. His contracts, he's still got another 3-year contract. I know contracts don't really count for much these days, but there'll be a lot of clubs. I thought he might stay to the end of the season. It's going to be, we'll see over the next few weeks, I suppose. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes. Apparently Tottenham are sniffing around and Chelsea.
No.
But so, I can't believe you didn't up the ante last, when you had the chance to get him.
I don't think we had the money, if I'm honest with you. I don't think we had the money, if I'm honest with you. From what we can tell, I mean, the Pepe deal was, but that was installments, wasn't it? And I don't think Palace wanted installments because they obviously got the sell-on fee, haven't they? So they did hold out. Yeah. Manny, I've got to bring you in, mate. Manny, what do you make of Roy Hodgson? Because obviously he's come to Palace from being an England manager, which I'm sure you'll comment on. But what do you make of Roy Hodgson, man?
Roy Hodgson... He's kind of like a Unai Emery kind of manager, sort of, lower league, Tesco value manager. I don't really rate him, to be honest with you. When he had the opportunity to make the step up to a big club like Unai Emery, you saw what happened. So I'm not a fan of his. I don't really care about the man, to be honest with you. His career doesn't really mean much to me. Look at his England career, dude. Like you as an England fan, right? You tell me what you thought about Roy Hodgson's reign, because for me it was hilarious over here, mate.
coming from a Frenchman, Dean. Obviously, you don't know that.
That's why we haven't got cameras up.
Here we go. Yeah, listen, D Cup. All right, give it a rest. All right, give it a rest. I got a bra lined up for you, man. It's birthday present wrapped and all that, man.
Look at that. I like it. Listen, boys, we're going to move on to the game at the weekend because for me, I'm still not 100% confident just for the pure fact of our record. We haven't actually beaten Crystal Palace since, was it 17-18 season, Fergus?
Yeah, it's exactly 3 years ago, 20th of January 2018.
What do you make? What do you make going into
2
this game?
years ago, bro.
2 years ago, yeah.
2 years
Listen,
ago.
I'm in finance, so like we always add up.
You're in
What?
finance and you can't even tell the difference between your years, man. You might need a career change, bro.
Listen.
Just think about it.
When I've
Just think about
survived
it.
more years than you know. So, but anyway, let's go on, Dan. What was the question?
How do you think we'll get on, mate, at the weekend? What do you think going into this game? Because for me, I'm not 100% confident. I think we'll just nick it, but I'm not going to go and say that we're going to walk all over them.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I can't call it at all. It's an away game. As I said earlier, we played Chelsea. We were unlucky against Chelsea not to get a point. Lucky against Chelsea to get a point. We done well against United, but held on towards the end. And Leeds, well, they battered us really, and we nicked a win against the odds, in my view. I think the only thing that's going in our favour is what Dino said. They're ravaged with injuries. If they had a full side squad, a full strength squad, I think we'd get turned over. I haven't picked a score yet, but I'm thinking either a 1-0 or a 2-1.
Okay.
I have to agree with you.
What's that?
I have to agree with you. I can't see us getting anything from it, to be fair. It'll be your first away win. Or not your first away win under Arteta.
It'll feel like our first away win, mate. Trust me, it really will.
It'll be our 6th away win all season, though. That's all we've done. That's how bad of a season we're having, Dino.
Really has been bad. Dino, we'll come to you on your injury news because there's a lot of players out for you boys. Is that right?
Oh, man, I'll tell you, I've got a list here.
Go on. Read it out. Go on.
It could be a whole team on its own. We've got, all right, you might laugh. We've got Benteke out, Townsend, Schlupp, Mayer, Sacco, Art Van Arnold, Dan Riedewald, Luca, who's suspended because of the getting sent off at Derby. That was a joke. And Ward. So I could just about scrape together another 11, but I don't think you'll have any problems. I really don't. Sad as I have to say it is.
Blimey, unbelievable. We'll come to our team news in a minute, what we think the lineup will be, boys. But I just got to ask Dino, if you could pick any Arsenal player to have in your Crystal Palace side now, who would you go for and why?
Is that past the present or just current team?
No, current team, yeah.
Current team, either of your strikers, Lacazette or Aubameyang. All we need. If we could have a striker who's capable of hitting 10, 12, 15 goals, we could be pushing, top 6 the way we've been playing this year. But it's just lack of goals. Lack of goals is preventing us getting any further.
Fair one, man. Who are the kind of danger men for us? Would you say it's Lacazette and Aubameyang at the weekend?
Yeah, it's the front. I mean, he started playing them together, hasn't he? And they're starting to click again. I know that they obviously, new manager. They're all showing their worth now. It's a shame they couldn't do it for Emery, but I suppose different tactics, different managers. But I think, yeah, they're the danger men for me.
Fair one, mate. Manny, coming to you, bruv. What are we going to be looking at this team at the weekend? What is the lineup, do you feel? Is it going to be similar to Man United and the Chelsea lineup?
Possibly, but before I even do that, I wanted to every Arsenal fan out there who keeps saying that it's a good time to play Palace, please be careful. We've said this and we've been here before, man. We've been here before when we've played a team that have been ravaged with injuries and suspensions, and you look at their starting lineup, you're thinking, yeah, Arsenal have a good chance here, and we get turned over. You know what I mean? So caution on that one, man, please. I think it'll be the same team that played against United. I think it'll be, Aubameyang on the left, Lacazette up top. I think Pepe will start this game. Ozil behind them, Torreira, Xhaka, Maitland-Niles will come back in, Socrates, Luiz, Kolasinac, and Leno. I think that's the formula that works. I think, the way they played against United and in the first half against Chelsea and against Bournemouth as well, minus Pepe, there's an understanding there in terms of how they want to play. The passing out from the back was a bit more, was steadier somewhat. The play was understood. The pressing was coordinated. Maitland-Niles coming into midfield, Xhaka dropping into defense and things like that. So everything was flowing and it was making sense. And I don't think Arteta's going to tinker with that too much.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. Manny, same question to you though, bro. If you could pick a Palace player, who would you go for? So quite a few, isn't there?
No, there isn't.
I'm joking, man.
The one and only, man. It has to be Zaha, doesn't it? I think imagine what we could be, what we could have been like with that guy in there. You know what I mean? Premier League experienced, strong. He's irritating as well, in the sense that he knows how to win a foul. He complains a lot. He knows how to win a penalty. You know, he's the guy you don't want to play against, but you would love to have in your team. So Wilfried Zaha, 100%, mate.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Fergus, any other players you would have in the team, and any other danger men you think for the weekend that Palace have got?
Well, obviously Zaha. Zaha, because of his pace on the wing, I think is important. He scored 3 goals for Palace so far this season. He also is prone to achieving a penalty or two. I don't know why that is, with his Tom Daly effect or whatever, but he does like to fall over in the box. Jordan Ayew, your top goal scorer. Sorry, Dino. Jordan Ayew.
All right, carry on.
He's had 5 goals for you this season. And fortunately enough, with having Zaha on the pitch, I'm glad that Luca, I'll just call him Luca because I'm awful at pronouncing names.
Go, say it.
Go on, try
Say
it.
it.
Please try it.
Go on, say it.
Drum please, drum roll. Milalovic? Thank you. He is their penalty taker, and obviously, with having Wilfried on the pitch and him on the pitch, could be a dynamite combination. He's banned from the red card for because of the VAR thing when Michael Oliver went to the only
one first.
The monitor.
Yeah. What did you make of that? Sorry, and then we'll come back to the players. What did you make of that?
Well, I was actually pleased in some respects because I can't believe they've had the monitors all this time and no referee has actually gone to have check their own decision or check to see if the decision was right, rather than wait for Stockley Park to rear their ugly head.
Yeah. Okay. But those 3 players are the players that I saw as threats. So yeah, I was just worried about. I think Jordan Ayew, he's on top form right now. Zaha, obviously, he's going to be up for it. He's apparently an Arsenal fan. How he's going to end up at Tottenham, it's but with him and Luca on the pitch, that would have been a dreadful combination.
Dino, do you see now why me and Manny call Fergus the Irish Paul Merson?
I'm on Australian.
Do you know what? And people, do you know what people are doing in the chat room? They're doing this. I love it, mate.
Guns and yellow ribbons.
Yeah, man. I love it, Ferg. I love it. Absolutely brilliant. Mate, it threw me off. That's how funny it was. I was sitting there thinking, go on, please say it. Please say it. No, it was funny. Listen, boys, we're going to do a quick kind of chat about one player that caused scenes when we last played Crystal Palace. Manny, I'll come to you on this. Listen, I know your thoughts on this player, and they're very similar to mine, but Granit Xhaka, last time we played Crystal Palace, threw his teddy in the corner when he came off the pitch. He's likely to start.
For Arsenal since.
That's Fergus's opinion. Manny, what's yours? And has this guy got a career at Arsenal still?
Why do you have to come to me with this? You know how I feel. I'm trying to be positive here. You're trying to make me okay. Cool. You know how I feel about this dude. You know, I'm not a fan at all. And I think his performance, especially against United, was a belated Christmas present. You know what I mean? He has at least 1 or 2 of them a year. You know what I mean? So I don't rate him. I think that what he did, against Palace, for me, left a serious sour taste in my mouth. However you may be feeling, you don't disrespect the shirt. I understand that he took a lot of abuse off the pitch and things like that, but the fans that were in the stadium didn't deserve that sort of reaction. Do you understand? I'm not a fan, never will be a fan. I don't want him at my club, and it's just that simple.
Listen, I can't knock his performances the last few games. I can't, because he has improved and he's one of them that has. But I've never been a fan. And the main reason I've never been a fan of Granit Xhaka is because he makes the same mistakes season after season. Fergus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, mate. Here's the thing. Before you go to Fergus, I would be understanding of the guy, right? If he made those mistakes and you went away and reviewed them, but you test the mettle of a man when they learn from their mistakes. And when I look at Granit Xhaka and I see you making the same mistakes that you made when you first came, that tells me that you are not understanding that your behavior is causing us to lose goals and points. So I cannot forgive you for that, mate. If you get on that pitch and you keep on making the same mistakes year after year, nah. Sorry, man.
Yeah, man. Listen, I echo that. Fergus, anything you want to say to add from the Granit Xhaka thing?
One thing I would like him to do as a parting gift is take Townsend out and break his leg. But that aside, Sheets of Metal in the comments talks about that pass between Holden and him at Leeds, the row that they had on the pitch. But even that's just the last game. But Manny, yourself, and the other guys on the podcast that we do have talked time and time and time after how much he slows our game down, how much he is not an Arsenal player. He is not a bad player, but he is not an Arsenal player.
You know what? If you want to balance it, right? If you want to balance it out, against United, he kept possession moving. But against Bournemouth as well, he was playing passes that will get in the left, the left wingers and Saka into very good positions. That's great. That's wonderful. But anybody can pass a ball, right? That's football 101. As a midfielder, you need to know how to pass the ball. That's not enough for me to be an Arsenal midfielder. That's not enough for me to play in the Premier League, period, because everyone knows how to pass a ball. You need to be mobile enough. You need to have a brain. You need to have your temperament needs to be in check. And he has shown over the years that if one thing goes wrong with Xhaka, 10 things can go wrong very quickly because he can't help himself. He's an emotional dude. He cannot help himself. And for me, I'd rather you go and not help yourself somewhere else, mate.
Stan Kroenke, for once, is bang on. He says, we've got too many technically weak players in the midfield. Stan, I hate you. But for once, you've got a point. Can we have some money as well, please, mate?
I must admit, listen, boys, if we got a 30 million plus offer, has he got to go?
Yes.
Manny, you agree?
Are you seriously asking that? Did you never watch The Fresh Prince when Uncle Phil used to throw jazz at the house? Multiple times for Xhaka, mate. Multiple times.
Fair one, man. Fair one.
Stan's back. He said no.
Stan is back. No. Listen, Dino, before we do some predictions, mate, for the game at the weekend, where would you stand if your captain did what Granit Xhaka did at Crystal Palace? And where do you think how harsh do you think the Crystal Palace fans would be?
Sorry, you're cracking up a bit. Could you just say it again?
Yeah, of course, mate. The Granit Xhaka situation against you boys at the Emirates, he obviously threw his captain's armband, went on a bit of a hissy fit. If that was the Crystal Palace captain, how would fans react? Would the fans react the same?
It'd be exactly the same, I think. I think most football fans are the same. You don't have players disrespecting the shirt of the club they're playing for.
Yeah. Listen. It's the reason I asked that is because sometimes the press can give fans a lot of stick, and Arsenal fans don't do themselves any favors because there is a lot of toxic, very toxic fans about at the moment. So I wanted to ask from your point of view what you felt as a Palace fan, and I'm glad that you agree with us because
have you had a similar situation? Have you had a player who's done?
It's not. I can't think. In recent history, I dare say there has been. Probably most clubs have had, petulant players at times. But I think the sentiment, the feeling would be the same. I
Good.
think personally.
Yeah, I think most fans that I've spoken to that are neutral agree.
What you thought of Xhaka, actually?
I think you got that answer.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think we're not fans of him. Manny, we'll come to you with a score prediction for the weekend, mate. What do you reckon the score is going to be?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think we might sneak it. But I think it'll be tougher than what we expect. So I'd say 2-1 to the boys with a late winner.
Okay, Fergus.
What do I have to hang my hat on this one now?
Yeah, man.
I'll agree with Manny. Jesus Christ, I'm ill. I've agreed with Manny.
It's not that bad, bro. Jesus Christ.
I gotta leave.
To be fair, I am going to agree with you both because I was going to go 2-1 as well. That is strange, isn't it? All three of us agreeing. There we go. But I'm hoping we nick it 2-1. We ain't going to keep a clean sheet. That just doesn't happen with us. Although we have kept some of the last few games, but I just can't see it. So I'm going to go with 2-1 to Arsenal. Dino, is it going to be a full house? Do you agree with that prediction, or are you going to go for a Palace win?
I like I say, a month ago I would have gone for a win. Now I'd take a draw if you offered it me this, right now. But I think it's going to be 2-1 to Arsenal.
Look at that. We're all in agreement.
Sorry, any Palace fans watching. I expect they'll be thinking the same, but
Listen, man, there's nothing to say that you couldn't nick it off of us. Trust me. The way our confidence is away from home, there's nothing to say that can't happen. Before we finish, we're going to do something which is a little bit fun. Dino, I'll ask you this now, and I'm not going to put you on the spot. I'll let the other two boys go first, so you have a little bit of a time to think. But a Crystal Palace goal that was scored against Arsenal that you liked the most, or one of your favourite goals that you've seen against Arsenal? I asked the boys beforehand. We'll have it as a little bit of fun for you. So have a bit of a think about a goal that you really appreciated against us. And Fergus, we're going to come to you first. What was your favourite goal that Arsenal scored against Crystal Palace?
There are a few, but I have noted down two. One is pretty obvious, which is Olivier Giroud. Not because he's French, Manny, because it was the scorpion kick of 2017. It was the goal of the season, and just the whole build-up to play, the cross by, was it? I think the assist
Sanchez.
Sanchez. It was absolutely amazing, and it was unfortunate that a player, was it who was the other team that scored? Was it Leicester or somebody else scored a similar?
No, it was Mkhitaryan for Man United the same week.
Yeah. And on the same, so it was two scorpion kicks, but Giroud did get the goal of the season, I think. But the one I looked back over a few. I must admit, I did have to think and do a bit of research on this. Was another Frenchman, Manny, Jesus, Gilles Romandy.
Oh God.
Is that good, Manny? Was that good? Was that good French?
I'm not even going to comment. I'm not. Listen, Fergus. Nobody laughs like that. Nobody laughs like that.
I will say this only once. Okay, it was February 21st, 1998. A corner by another Frenchman, Nicolas Anelka. And the ball was cleared and it lands to Giroud, and he volleys the ball into the top right-hand corner. It was a peach of a goal, and it was at Highbury as well. Unfortunately, wasn't there to see it, but I do remember seeing it on TV. So there we go.
See, I'm going to have to say that it was the scorpion kick, and I think Manny will probably agree. The only other one that I would mention was at Highbury in 2005, where Thierry Henry and Dennis Bergkamp link up outside the box, and there's a 1-2, and Thierry Henry just smashes it home. And that was a season for me where I felt that he was at that time the best player in the world. I think the only player that came fairly close on a par with him was probably Ronaldinho at that time. And to have one of the best players, or the best player in the world, will always stay with me. And Thierry Henry, he's got to go down as probably the greatest player that Arsenal have ever had. So he scored many great goals for us, but that one was probably the best for me against Palace. Manny, any others that you want to mention, or is it the Giroud scorpion kick?
Has to be the scorpion kick, dude. Has to be that one, man. I don't think you're going to see a goal replicated like that for quite some time. So, yeah, definitely the scorpion kick.
I must admit, the way that ball comes, actually a poor cross from Sanchez. It was obviously it was behind him, so that was just instinct, and the way that it hit the crossbar, and it was just a peach of a goal, wasn't it? So, for me, yeah, I agree. It has to be Olivier Giroud. Dino, coming to you, man. I know I've kind of put you on the spot and given you only a couple of minutes. Is there any goals that stick in your memory that were scored against us Gooners?
Well, the only one I can remember, because I went to Highbury with a mate of mine. He got me 2 tickets. I was in with the Arsenal, so I had to sort of, keep it quite calm. And I thought, well, we're going to lose anyway. And after about, I think it was 8 or 10 minutes, Chris, I can't remember his last name now, but he went straight up and scored. And I just leapt out, jumping up and down like an idiot, and thought, oh, here we go, I'm going to get battered in here. And can't remember his last name for the life of me. But we ended up losing 4-1, which I knew we would anyway, so it didn't really matter. So
It wasn't. It
quite
wasn't.
a sweet little goal. He half the pitch, but
It wasn't Chris Armstrong up front, was it?
Armstrong. That's it.
Because he was at Spurs. Ugh. Yeah, that was a while ago, wasn't it?
Quick.
You won't get battered at the Emirates. There's too many tourists there.
Sort of lives long in the memory.
Brilliant. No, listen, Dino, we are going to wrap it up, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you. Thanks for coming on as a Palace fan, mate. I do appreciate it. I know it's never always easy to come on and jump on another fan's podcast, but you've been brilliant, mate. And I wish you all the luck for the rest of the season. Where do you think that you'd be happy with finishing as a Palace fan this year?
17th.
You just want to stay up, yeah?
I'd say that now, yeah. Then I might be able to come back next season.
And I'd like Palace to stay up. I like the London sides in there. I actually quite like. We spoke briefly beforehand. I remember Pat Sharp and Kid Jensen, and when you got promoted against Charlton and stuff like that. I remember watching my car and listening to that playoff game, and it was amazing. And when was that? 99? Absolutely amazing. And I've got good memories of it.
Yeah,
Cheers.
I mean, we've had a few good years in the playoff finals. Well, now we're like to say, call us established now. It's our 7th season. Next season will be, let's say, a different one if old Wilf goes, but we'll see. Life goes on. There's no one player, the club.
Absolutely, man. Listen, there's no way I can see Crystal Palace going down. I think that you'll be fine, and I think that we'll be doing another Pots preview with you next season, mate. I can assure you of that one. So thank you very much, Dean. Top man. Fergus, as ever, absolute pleasure. How can people follow you and listen to you more on podcasts, mate?
We are on Guns and Yellow Ribbons on SoundCloud, on YouTube, on Spotify. If you want to follow us on Twitter, me personally, I'm on Essex Gunner, but we are at Guns and Ribbons. And Facebook, if you're Arsenal fans, look up on Facebook at Guns and Yellow Ribbons. Enjoy it. We're just Arsenal fans doing what Arsenal fans do, just chatting crap about Arsenal.
That's a fair one, mate. And you will see us both on there on Guns and Yellow Ribbons. Please come and join it and subscribe.
You won't see
Manny, Manny, coming to you, man. Always a pleasure, man. Listen, this is the first time that me, you, and Fergus have been on a podcast for quite a while, man. Have you enjoyed it?
Oh yeah, man. I've had some time. I've had some fun, teasing the fat man over there. It's all good, man. It's all good.
In the eye. Come on, show your face, boy.
Man, I don't want to look you in the eye, man. I don't want to look you in the eye, you big-eared ogre, man. I'd rather not. Too damn ugly for me, man. But it's been a pleasure, hello, man. I hope to.
Can we have your votes, please? Hello, Leighton.
Oh man, it's been a pleasure, man, and hopefully I'll catch you in a game at some point. You and the breast milk over there, man. It should be fun, bro. I appreciate you,
Manny. If people want to listen to you on podcasts again, mate, because you are a character, how do they do that, mate?
Fergus, fuck off, man. No, I'm on Arse Bros, man. If you want to follow the madness over there, it's at Arse Bros Rant on Facebook and Twitter. And it's not so I'm on there. It is not. Listen, do not let your kids listen to this madness. We go off on tangents quite a bit. You know what I mean? We are analytical, but we don't try to be professionals, man. We're just regular dudes talking about Arsenal, arguing like brothers, and just having fun with it, man. So you can find me on there. Fergus, I'm going to catch you on there at some point because you need to stop running away from me, bruv. So, Yeah, man, I'm gonna see you on
Got it.
there in a bit, bro.
Yeah, well, I am due on. That's gonna be an event. Honestly, I think I'm gonna have to be very drunk to go on there.
Man, I'm definitely coming on that one, bruv, without a doubt, boys. Listen, boys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Let's hope for 3 points to the Arsenal. Please join us on the Same Old Arsenal every Monday night from 7 to 7:30. We'll follow us on Twitter, Facebook. Please subscribe to us. We're going to be doing Pots previews normally a few days before, but it'll be well advertised and promoted. Boys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you all very much. Thank you all for being in the chat room. Thank you all for listening, and we will see you next time, guys. Thank you and goodbye.
Thanks for
Up the arse.
Up the Arsenal.